Good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Before we get started, let me kind of read through our role as a board and kind of the order of today's meeting. We're the 2025 Board of Equalization and Review for Union County, and we have been appointed by the county commissioners to hear all taxpayers with respect to concerns/complaints regarding the valuation of their property for tax purposes. Property owners appearing before the Board of Equalization and Review have a right to a fair and equitable hearing. The Board of Equalization and Review has been charged with ensuring that the proper legal principles have been applied in a valuation dispute for tax purposes. So when we get started this morning, the county will locate the property on the monitors. So everybody will, and you'll see it up here. So we'll all be looking at the same thing. And the books that we have here, you've got the same thing here, okay? The clerk to my right will then call the case as it's listed on the agenda, and you'll come forward and speak into the mic. And we would want to remind everybody that the meeting is audio recorded, okay? At that time, you'll just go ahead and present your information to us and try to keep it to about 15 minutes or less. When it gets to be about 13 minutes, we'll kind of get like a 2-minute warning from the clerk to kind of speed it up. But just try to get to the facts, as quick as you can. After you present your information, you'll have a seat, and before you have a seat, members of the board will have a chance to ask questions of you, okay? Then you'll have a seat. The county will do the same. They'll come up, present their information. We'll have a chance to ask the county questions. Once they're done, I will give you a chance to have any final comments or rebuke any comments, okay? Any and all questions need to be directed to me as chairman. After we hear all the taxpayers on the agenda today, then we will go into the deliberation phase of the hearing. You're welcome to stay. Don't know how long it's going to last. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long. Typically, you'll be notified by the county of the board's decision within about 30 days, and that'll come to you in writing. By statute, the burden of proof is on the taxpayer to demonstrate that the assessment is erroneous. If you have sales data that you're presenting to us, not listings, but sales data, that sales data needs to be as of 1/1/25 or before, because the effective date of the property reevaluation is 1/1/25. Only individual taxpayers or licensed residential or certified real estate appraisers licensed to do business in North Carolina may express an opinion of value of real property. No other persons, whether attorneys in fact, attorneys at law, or corporate representatives, are entitled to express an opinion of value of real property. So before we get started, I'd just like to remind everybody, if you could silence your cell phones. And are there any questions? And if you think of some later, just let me know. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are going to start with hearing number 1. This is for property key number 09207005A. The taxpayers are Laura and Alberto Varela, and they are present today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dana Chastain for the
Okay.
county. Just to locate the property, this is Monroe here, and this is a lake lot off of Lake Monroe. So just off of Stack Road there.
Right.
Where that is. And just to zoom in on Eagle View so you can see a clear picture, there's the,
Great.
there's that.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Chastain. Good morning. Is it Miss Varela?
Yes.
Has I got that right?
Good morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Laura Varela.
Laura Varela. Okay.
My husband Ubaldo. And we do live at 1701 Lake Monroe.
Right,
We purchased the property in 2021 for $480,000. In May of, May 31st, 2022, we had a notice of decision that the property was assessed for $513,000, and that was accepted. This was on the basis of, because we had purchased it, we had a mortgage, so there were three comps for the bank, one of which is our neighbor kind of kitty corner, which is up to the right, and it is on Earl Griffith. Let me get the, thank you. Yeah, the 909-207-004B. And that's 520 Earl Griffin Road. This house has a larger acreage, but it's on the lake, 5.47 acres versus our 2.29. They have square footage of a larger home. They have 3,851 square feet versus our 2,901. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. 2,798 square feet. But they have also a finished basement of 1,322 square feet, an unfinished basement of 320 square feet versus our unfinished basement of 1,980 square feet. So it's a larger facility, larger property. Their assessment was $698,700 versus ours being $840,000. Since we have been in since 2021, we have not done any major improvements. We did replace the roof with an in-kind asphalt roof, only because we also installed solar panels to the property. Unfortunately, it's not performing as designed. It was supposed to give us 98%
right,
coverage. It probably does 30%.
Right.
And so, and even then, it's only $32,000 worth of equipment that was installed in through Tesla there. We also, this property on Earl Griffin just sold on June 3rd, 2025, and it sold for $804,500. Our property is the only one on Lake Monroe Drive that went up significantly. It was like 68%. We are the only one who does not have a driveway on the paved road. Our granddaughter has to walk a quarter mile to the bus stop at Wood Duck Lane. So we're not getting any special privileges or anything. We just feel it needs to be reconsidered. When I looked at Zillow, it came up with an estimate of $712,000, which I thought was pretty reasonable. I could put a couple others, for comparable, but this is an older neighborhood, so not too many sell. It just doesn't turn over. Everyone likes the place. But do you have anything that you have to add to it?
Well, I want to add, on my company, they don't raise me 60% salary, barely 5%, and I'm very struggling
That's not
about it.
really-
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the road is a problem. We went to the North Carolina commissioning to say, they said this is Union County has to fix it because it's part of their job.
So
It's not in North Carolina.
it's a
so-
county-maintained road versus a state-maintained
Yeah.
road?
Right.
Okay, okay.
So,
So we
but
got that
I think,
dilemma.
I would say, I think for the shortness of time, just because it's an apples-to-apples comparison, when you look at our neighbor, lake frontage, larger, and yet the assessment is we would just like ours to be reconsidered because we have not done anything to warrant it being 840,000.
Plus our neighbor here is splitting the land and he's building here. So it's gonna be 2 apartments. So that's gonna devalue the area too. And
Okay.
They
Yeah.
had to add a septic thing.
But, yeah, as far as our, growth in valuation, our next-door neighbor is kind of devaluating with the equipment that he stores and how it's being handled.
Okay.
Do
Let me,
you have any questions?
yeah, let me see if members of the board have any questions. Mr. O'Keefe?
I'd like to wait for the county.
Okay, Mr. Smith?
Just a question. Looking at the property line, it shows it doesn't go to the lake, but appears there's a dock in front of your house. Does your property go actually to the lake, or do you just use
Yeah,
it?
the lake is owned by the city of Monroe. It's one of their drinking water sources. And when this picture was taken, the water receipt was receipted. That's the other kind of issue is because it's their control, they use the water. We have no control over that. So it is,
Very
it goes
shallow.
down. And so
Very shallow
you-
water, we cannot even put the boat.
But,
So is
but
that
we
y'all's-
have, actually, the city owns, there's a buffer. There's a 20-foot, I believe, 20-foot buffer.
30 foot.
30
All
foot,
this, yeah.
that the city of Monroe owns around the whole lake. And then that blue line is actually where our actual property is.
Which is a
And
question
how
I
did the
have.
dock get there was my question. Whose dock is it?
Oh, that's our
Ours.
dock.
Yeah.
We have a permit for it with Water Resources. We pay $175 annually for having, I'm sorry, $185 for having the dock. And it comes out, or it stays, but the lake technically closes November 1st through March 1st.
So technically, you don't own the property, but you have access to it.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes,
That's-
You're right.
yes.
And it's kind of hard looking at this map, this picture, but it looks like the road ends just before your driveway. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yes, you're right. It's and right here. And also the property line, the blue line, you see the neighbors put a fence here. They say that's the property line. So it's shorter what you guys have in the records.
Well, these are aerial and estimates.
Okay,
They
okay,
can be
okay.
off some.
Okay.
So that's just, isn't that correct?
Yeah.
County, that's kind of a best guess from the aerials. So I've seen these things be off a little bit, one way or the other. But,
Because every other line match in the neighborhood.
Yeah, excuse me. I think you
Sorry.
had a question for the county. Tom?
yeah, I just want to make sure, does that property line look right, or is it really where looks like there's a fence? So either the neighbor is way over on their property, or the picture's wrong.
Can y'all speak to that? Yeah. Ask again, Tom.
You look at this picture of where the property line is with the adjoining house, there's a fence, but the line appears to be way over, and the neighbor is utilizing what shows to be their property. Is the picture probably off a few feet, 10, 15 feet, or whatever?
Yeah, a lot of times on these
That's-
mapping systems, you have layers, right?
Yeah,
And this layer on top of layer, either they're not lined up perfectly, it seems right here in this spot.
angle
So-
of picture, whatever.
Well, yeah, and sometimes the layers aren't lined up exactly perfect.
That's all the questions I have.
Yeah, Ms. Varela, I'm just looking here, it looks like the original opinion of value was $595. That's what and then but your opinion of value, if I understood you right, was around $712,000.
Well, I felt it was $595, but I'm not a professional realtor or anything.
Right.
So that's when I, had put in the first part. Just also looking at all the other neighbors. There's two larger homes that are on Wood Duck Lane, and they're still in the 600,000s.
Yeah, and that was my next question. Have you had a chance, and we'll get to the county piece on that too, as far as looking at the values of the neighboring properties on ones that are similar to yours?
Yeah.
Okay,
The, there's, differences in it's an older neighborhood, so there's some, smaller homes, and then there's ours, but the one, some comparable larger homes are on Wood Duck Point there, as well as on the other side of Lake Monroe Drive. But this property here at 519 Wood Duck Pond, don't quote me, but I want to say it's like 690,000 was its assessment. And across the street is another comparable house, and that was also in the high 600,000.
Okay.
So, yeah, we are just, kind of
okay.
very surprised.
Yeah.
Because I could see if we pulled permits and we made an addition and we had all these things, but we haven't even painted. So,
Still, I mean, and we will hear from the county on it, but keep in mind the drastic amount of appreciation that we saw in the market, especially from 21, through all the way to 1/1/25. So I mean,
yes and no, though. I just find, a market correction of over 60% is really hard
yeah.
to quantify,
Right.
especially as a taxpayer
Yeah.
who's going to be, paying for that. And I'm
And all-
65, and, I just retired. And so
Yeah.
it's, it is something that, if I need to, I guess I'm going to have to think about downsizing.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
and-
just is very sad because I thought this was my forever
yeah,
home.
well, and, the county in general, on average, saw about that, not every single property, okay, and there were some more and some less, saw that 55 to 60%, increase in value. Not necessarily meaning that you're going to see that in your actual tax bill that comes out of your pocket, because I think the commission did try to keep it about as revenue neutral as they can.
Well, I have my tax bill and it has
Yeah,
gone up significantly,
I
even
got-
though it's got a set,
I got mine the other day too,
there.
yeah, okay.
So
Well, if you would, have a seat and
Yeah.
let's hear from the county, and then I'll circle back to you, okay? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On page 64, I believe, is where our comparable sales analysis is located. The taxpayer's correct. Lake lots do not sell often. They do not. But we did pull waterfront lots. In order to be an accurate comparison to the subject property, it really needs to be based on other waterfront lots. And so as you can see, that's what we pulled, and it does support the county's value. On page, just so you know what we have here, on page 65 and 66, they did, the taxpayer requested to submit some comparable homes, but none of these are waterfront. So we did run that just so that they could see and, where they were, but, these also are, the adjustment, the gross percent adjustment was much, much higher on these, and they're not comparable because they are not waterfront like the subject property. So we do feel like out of the sales available, that these were the best sales for the comparison analysis, and they do support the county's value. As far as equity, I know you're aware, smaller homes, larger value. For their total finished square footage, they're at 2,900 square feet. They have an unfinished basement. The homes that they sent me to use for comparables, those are all 3,000, 4,000 square feet, and the one that is the closest is, again, not waterfront, and that is 814 Bridgewater, I believe was mentioned in their appeal. So it's the most, as far as year built square footage, but it's not waterfront. So that's not comparable. The other two, the one right beside them, 1705 Lake Monroe and 520 Earl Griffin, As you're aware, Earl Griffin sold after 1/1 of '25, so we can consider that. But this is an eclectic neighborhood. Those are 20 years older and 38 years older than the subject. So they're, you've got depreciation in there. It's not equitable because there's not one exactly like the subject on waterfront. So that's why, when we ran those analysis, that's why those comparables were not used, because they were not waterfront lots.
Okay. With that, can you zoom the map out so we can get yeah. Okay. And,
Can we go further?
no, that's good. And then I'm just kind of looking at the number of waterfront homes. I'm assuming most of those are all waterfront homes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they,
Very limited sales, but
well,
It's
just
gonna
from
be
an,
based-
just from an
from
equity standpoint?
equity, they would be priced just like the subject on land, and then,
Right.
of course, square footage.
Okay,
And that's where you're gonna see the difference. If it's a smaller, there's a difference there
right,
for the, schedule of values. as
Right.
you're
So the
aware.
land value on those waterfront lots is pretty much comparable
Yes, sir.
across, and then it's purely the structure
Yes, sir.
and the age of the structure. when you're looking.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
just related to your question, the parcel that's on the point there, 09207-015,
Yes.
we looked at it just for equity while y'all were talking to the appellant. These it's in the 1970s, and the subject is 2003, I believe. So there's going to be some difference in value based on that. And that's why a lot of those homes are older homes, and you're going to see a lower value on them.
Right, okay. I was trying to figure that part out, okay, when the taxpayer was presenting their information. Additional questions for the county, Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes, what was the value equity of 7015?
655.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Chastain.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I was going, when the county finishes their piece, I will give you a chance. You can come forward now with any final comments, okay? Ms. Varela? Yeah.
I wanted to ask the county why they didn't consider 520 Earl Griffith, even if the sale was after. Still looking at it from a tax standpoint, the house was built in 1989. And again, because it was used, nothing has changed with that house except that they sold it, but still the assessment and the comparable of being a lakefront home and compared to our home should be part of the equation on that.
Yeah. They cannot, we cannot, nor can the county consider a sale after 1/1 of '25.
I understand that.
Yeah.
What I'm asking, though, is instead of considering the sale, because actually the sale does me a disservice, it was $804,000.
Right.
But the assessment of the property
And that's kind of what we're looking at.
is
Yeah.
still in the lower 600,
Yeah.
or in,
Yeah.
690.
And we're
When they
looking-
sold the house, or when the house was bought in 2020, it was bought at $630,000. Theirs went from 630 to 698 in their assessment. Our house went from 513 to 840,000. And, barring the age, the square footage, the property is still valuable, and I would think it would be just as comparable, even though it's 1990 versus 2003. That's what I wanted to add.
And we'll consider, when we get into the deliberation piece, and that's why we had questions on not the sales data, but the values of the neighboring properties. And the main takeaway I've heard so far is the homes that are around you are a lot older than yours. So that's one factor. I'm not saying that's the only factor,
Right.
but the homes are a lot older that are on the water?
Actually not, because at 1721 Lake Monroe Drive, that home was built in 2000, I believe, 3. That's new. The one across the street,
And I keep in mind, they were looking at lakefront lots.
yeah, no,
Okay.
but that one is a lakefront.
Okay.
At 1721 Lake Monroe.
Okay.
And that just assessed for 379,000. It is a brick, well-built, 2-story home. It's a smaller, square footage, so, definitely, but I'm just saying that we're not the only new
Right.
construction in the,
Okay.
we're probably, the
Okay.
newest on that part of the street, though.
Well, so noted.
Thank you.
So noted. Thank you, Ms. Varela. Okay. Okay. Any additional comments from the county?
I would
Sorry
just say,
about that.
there's
Thank
one
you.
other component to consider as well, is the different qualities of the homes. Not just age, but the different qualities of homes in there too.
Right. Thank you, Brad.
All
Okay.
right, we will move to hearing number 2. This is for property key number 06120034. We'll have the county locate the property for you. This is for taxpayers Kevin and Kyle Moosen. And Greg Moosen is here, and we do have his power of attorney, allowing him to speak today on behalf of the taxpayers.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me see if we can pop this up here real quick. So we are looking at a piece of vacant land in Weddington. And hopefully you will recognize there's the water tower and the fire station on Beulah Church Road. Does that
Yeah, and if you
picture
keep,
work for you?
yeah, and if you keep, if you, with
Which
that
road?
being on the left, if you keep going Providence Road, you'd run into Providence Road.
Correct.
Right, okay. Just wanna Make
Correct.
sure I was going in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm good. Everybody good?
Good.
Okay.
Bill, I think the fire station's secondary. This picture's to the left,
Yeah.
Providence Road is to the right. I'm looking at the picture here, I'm sorry, I was looking at the book.
Yeah, going this way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in the book.
Yeah.
This picture's upside down.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Hello, Board.
Good morning.
My name's Greg Musson.
Okay.
Been a resident of Union County for several decades. Have seen this area grow up significantly over a good while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll chat a little bit here, but let me give you, I'll give you these here. This little printout I did.
Okay.
Yes, this is from me, and I'm going to talk about those. So they can.
In addition to what we've already provided, is this extra
Yes,
documentation?
yes, yes, ma'am. I've sent you some documents there, some, I think, comparable. Some are with houses already on the land, and some that are vacant. Alan had sent me 8 different properties throughout the area for single lots. Values, average median price of $250,000.
There's only 2.
All of these lots, with the exception of 2, were within subdivisions. So anybody that's been a builder knows that if you have a lot in a subdivision, that is a piece of property that's been increased in value because of infrastructure, curb and gutter and whatnot. On that handout that I gave you, I showed you, I think, 5 different properties and a sheet representing where those properties were. I only did 2 of those copies, so you might have to fight over them.
Got them? We're
Huh?
good.
You got them?
We're good.
All right. I'm trying to find my map so I can direct you better. Here we go. Now, what I did here is I have a map laid out of the I'm gonna come out on this here a little bit. I'll come back in later. But on that map that I give you, there's two of the properties that Alan gave. Since y'all don't have one, let me read it off to you. It's 06150065B and 65A. That's at the roundabout of Weddington Matthews Road and Highway 84. They built 2 lots there. The houses are still under construction and haven't been sold. So I guess they built a couple spec homes, figuring somebody would buy it at a roundabout.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
No, I think they're actually being built by the owners.
Are they? Yeah, because I haven't seen them. They're finished. Yeah.
They're not quite.
Pardon me?
Which ones are you talking about? The ones right on the roundabout?
Yeah, there's 2 on the roundabout. Those are the first 2 properties that that Alan picked out. But anyhow, let me move forward on that. The other properties that he has listed here, one of them's in, I want to say Marvin, because it's past Newtown Road. Another one's over towards Wesley Chapel. Another one's on the east side of Waxhaw Indian Trail Road. 2 of them are over there. So the only 2 that I could find that were within Weddington were the 2 that I just mentioned at the roundabout. What I did is try to find properties that were sold within that proximity of the lots that we're referring to. The only one that I could find within 2024, and I don't know why Alan doesn't have it on there, was 2336 Gatewood. The lot there, they paid $90,000 for it. You have it as an ASV of 69.4. That is C on that document. So that lot you have under $70,000. That's how I came up with my price on what my lot should be valued at. That's within 1 mile, less than 1 mile of the property I'm talking about. The other thing in that pamphlet I gave you is property A and B, which is, A is 5237 Hemby Road. That's a property adjoining, I say adjoining. Let me
Yeah,
go
pull us
back
back.
in, where we at? I go too far. There we
Yeah,
go.
you start getting all those numbers on there, I can't, yeah,
Hold on.
Read the license plate on that car.
yeah.
There's the tower.
Oh, come on.
That's the soybean field.
There we go. Come on, numbers.
Whoa.
Trying to get those numbers out of there. But the 2 properties right next to the one that I'm challenging the cost on is 5237 Hemby Road and 5245 Hemby Road. That's A and B in that packet. Those are with established homes on them. Those homes are 1,600 square foot. They were modular homes put there back in the 80s by the Delaney's. Y'all know it. Those are there. Susan, one of the children of the Delaney's, ended up getting that home when they sold their other property to one of the developments down the road. She kept those for a opportunity for low-income housing. She rents those out to folks in the area at an affordable price. It's the only affordable housing that we have in Weddington that someone's willing to offer at an affordable price. We want to continue the same on this land here. That lot that we have, there was a house on there, one of the modular homes that burnt down, 15, 20 years ago. They had demolished it, and that's what's up there right now. I put a couple other properties on there, one that was in number D on that paperwork, which is 2701 Garden View. That's in the Hadley Park subdivision. It had a price of $265,000 on it. It did not have a list price on what he paid for it. In that particular community, they have curb and gutter. They have other amenities that are associated with the subdivision. Again, it's a subdivision, and the mean price of those houses are over $1 million. I go down to F, which is Beulah Church Road. The Lowe's own that property there. It's right next to the power substation on Beulah Church Road. I thought it was 7 acres. It's 6.17 acres. You have a value of $604,000 on there. Now, I don't know why that hasn't been sold. They've been trying to sell it a couple different times. I don't know if it won't perk. I'm not sure why they haven't done that, but they have a value of $100,000. So I just, refer back. You guys are assessing the value on this land at $200,000+. And I think it should be, dialed back a little bit.
Okay.
That's about all I have.
All right, let me see if members of the board have any questions there, is it Musson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. O'Keefe?
Is this perked? Is it buildable?
Maybe. So there was a septic system on it.
Okay.
The county came out and health department came out and said, yeah, the septic's still there. Haven't affirmed if it will work or not. There is one repair field. So you don't know if that septic will work until you start dealing. I'm hoping it does. There's no sewer out there, by the way.
That was one of my questions.
Yeah. That lot has a well on it. And again, that has to be, since it's been dormant for so long, you got to have it tested and make sure that it's good.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
I thought this area had water and sewer. Across the street they do,
They do.
and I know. behind
And across the
that-
street, their taps are in the subdivision.
Right.
So in order to make that work, it's not going to work. Unless you get eminent domain and you're going to tear up, it's not going to work.
And it doesn't work behind you either.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing, and you already know about this if you don't. Wanda's land, that 33 acres next door, she's got that under contract.
I know she does.
Now, I know what she's getting for it. I can't tell you. She told me it. 'Cause I've known Wanda for years. But they may bring water or sewer in there. But it's going to be a pump station in the back, and unless you get approval from the developer, I don't know if it'll happen or not. There's a lot of variables in there.
That is gonna be developed water and sewer. I
Yeah,
know that.
so you know about that already, yeah. Yeah, and the neighbors that Rick Helms sold his land to, yeah, they ain't happy about it, so they'll deal with that later.
Yeah, it is a odd shaped lot, to say the least,
Yeah,
given the way it is. And you do have the multifamily section of Weddington next to you. This was originally one of those homes.
it was, yes, sir, and that is an option. Well, they say it was an option, it's gonna be up to the town of Weddington whether they approve it or not. What we're trying to do is if they allow us to do that, I bought this for my boys, they're twin boys. They're the first ones that went from K through 12 at Weddington schools, first ones. Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah.
Anyhow, different story.
I doubt they would allow you to build it as a duplex like the other ones are.
I'd like to do that because what I'd like to do, if you go down there, I mean, look at that one right next to it. If you zoom in on that, right here, you won't believe what they got going on there. A little farm going on there, kid you not. But Susan, I know the Delaney's, known them for decades. She could get a lot more for these houses. She could get double. But, you know, she's charging them $500 to $800 a month. It's the only affordable housing we have in Weddington. That's all we got. So if we can put a duplex on there, a modular like that's on the rest of them, you could get out doing that. I mean, provided you're not, you know, you're not paying them more in taxes than you are for the mortgage.
I would just suggest to see what the zoning.
I can't hear you.
I would just make sure.
This is on. I'd suggest that you check on what the actual zoning is with Weddington, because that was a duplex.
Right.
Originally.
Yeah,
Is it grandfathered and carry through?
right,
If it doesn't, I'd say you would have a very difficult time putting a duplex on
right,
it.
yeah.
So I would check with the town planner
right,
and find that out,
right,
because that would make a significant difference in how this works
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, Mr. Meeson, if you would, let us, if you would take a seat and we'll hear from the county, and then I'll come back to you for any final comments, okay?
All right, I want to add a couple things here real quick. North Carolina State recently came out with an article that said housing prices in 2025 have actually decreased
Yeah.
from 24. And the one thing about this lot is that it's vacant. There's no burden on the county whatsoever on this lot to the county. Vacant land, I think, should be treated different than land that's got houses on it as far as value. And I don't care if it's this lot, Wanda's lot, lots that are vacant on that lake that the lady just come up on, because there's no cost to the county on it. And I say, other than maybe streets, if you're going in there or not, but if you're not using that property, there's nothing to it. And out of our tax bill, over 65% of our taxes on property goes towards schools.
Okay.
And I'm retired. That boat sailed a long time ago with me.
Yeah. We have
So-
nothing to do with that.
I know you don't, I'm just telling you, I know it's
Yeah,
on
we
record,
have
I just
nothing to
want
do
to
with it.
voice
Yeah.
my opinion.
Okay.
Because I'm like this with this young lady here, retired, and she's, you know, on a fixed income.
Okay.
Ready with the house,
All right.
On the lake, same thing. But
Let
go
us,
ahead and,
yeah, let us hear from the county, and I'll come back to you for any final comments after they present, okay?
thank
So if you
And
would
then after
have,
that, do I need to stay, or y'all?
no, if you would, just have a seat. Now, I'm gonna hear from the county, and when
Right.
they finish, I'm gonna come back to you for any final comments that you may
All right,
have,
thank you.
okay?
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Nick Parker for the county. A couple of quick tidbits. I've been a realtor, a licensed realtor in North Carolina since '07. So about 18 years now, give or take.
Oh, yeah.
So just to speak to the last little bit of information about sales in North Carolina, and I'll speak a little more specifically to Union County. Just recently pulled numbers for 2025 in Union County, and we are up across the board 4% in Union County. So there's a lot of conversation right now with real estate market flattening, going down. We hear that a lot in certain areas. It's slowed down, but overall in Union County, we are up. So not necessarily sure where the information comes from, but Canopy, the MLS service for Charlotte, their data indicates different.
Yeah, and we're
So-
pinned on 125 and 4 anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. By the way, we were up 4% last year
Okay.
across the board. Union County was up. So this particular parcel that we're talking about, last week I presented one on Weddington Church Road. Same scenario, whereas we're dealing with a rural vacant parcel in Weddington, and the homeowner is comparing his parcel to lot parcels within neighborhoods. So this is a rural piece of land. If you look at page 23, I believe that's where we have rural sales or rural values. And you will see that we currently have the subject valued at $231 per acre. I'm sorry, excuse me, $214,800 is the assessed value. Okay. And the median per acre in rural is $250. So I believe we have them valued consistently as far as a rural piece of property in Weddington. I've looked at the adjoining or next door parcels. We don't have any additional shape or topography on those parcels, in case you're wondering. So we're treating it consistently like the other parcels next to it. And really, that's all I have for you in simplest of terms.
Okay. Questions, Mr. O'Keefe?
I'm sorry, I got a little lost in regard to the shape.
Sorry.
No, it's my fault. You say you allowed for, or?
No, sir. So I wanted to make it clear to you that we've looked at the other parcels that are right next to it that are similarly shaped, and we don't have any kind of topography or shape or any kind of a land influence on those parcels either.
Thank
So for consistency and equity purposes, they're all priced the same.
Thank you.
My question is comparable to that. So these other three that are shaped long and narrow that have the, is there a land value in the 200,000 range?
I actually don't have that information. I'm not sure. I'd have to refer to.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going to.
Yeah, that's where I'm
They
going.
should all be priced the same. We'll
Right.
pull it up right now and take a
Yeah,
look.
okay. Yeah.
The shape is odd. This is probably the oddest of the four of them that are odd shaped because of how narrow they get to make it an acre odd, whatever. And did you take any consideration in that the houses next to it are multifamily homes versus, would you build a typical Weddington house next to those? You probably wouldn't. You would build something comparable or matching those in some way, which
Yeah, whether it's single family.
single or
duplex.
multifamily, it would be, I think, difficult to build a, I'm not sure anybody would build a 2,500, 3,000 square foot house next to the multifamily. That's my thought.
Hey, they're building them on roundabouts.
I know they're
So-
building them on roundabouts.
So I'm just saying, they're building them everywhere right now in Weddington. Location-wise, it's prime.
Yeah.
It's certainly size-wise, you could put a $1 million home on that property pretty easily, so.
I think, Mr. Helms, you have the numbers there.
Yeah.
So those being duplex properties, we have them priced off of income. And with income, we removed the land value because it's all inclusive in the income for the whole property.
So it's not going to be comparable.
It's not going to be because they're income producing properties, and we valued them off the income this year.
Okay. Understood. You have any further questions, Mr. Smith?
Nope.
I don't either. Okay.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Mr. Musson, any final comments?
Yes. Hey, thank you for speaking, taking Alan's spot. Just to follow up, the two adjoining properties, these gentlemen looked at them here with the unique layout of the land. 183,000, what was it, 100 and, you guys have that up? What the,
Let's get
what
any-
was the valuation?
Mr. Musson, any questions you have need to be directed to me.
Oh, no,
Okay.
nothing
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
I'm
Any
done.
question you have needs to be directed to me.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Now, just, the one property that he didn't bring up was the one in Gatewood, the lot
Mm-hmm.
that was sold in '24. May of '24, I believe it was. That had a sales price of 90, but the assessed value from the county was under 70.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that up,
Okay.
yeah,
I-
as far as comparison.
There's a number of unique issues maybe with
There
this
is.
property, so
Yep.
I appreciate all your comments and the county, and then when we go into deliberation, we'll get into it, okay?
Yeah, y'all mull it over. I appreciate your time this morning, and I'm so sorry for taking up so much of it.
No, you're good.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Okay.
All right, we will move to hearing number 6. This is for property key number 03-144-018A. The taxpayer is Carla Richmond. This is a hearing on an appeal for an application denial due to an untimely application.
Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't really know what to say, other than I got my application in late and apologize, but the doctor, I couldn't get a doctor appointment for him to sign off on the form for disability.
Okay.
So,
And you got it in when, roughly?
I think it was the 5th or the 6th, and the first was on a Sunday of June.
Of
It was like 3 or 4 days late.
of June? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I know exactly where you're coming from. Any questions?
No question.
No question.
That's
Yeah.
all. I was just asking that it be reduced
Okay.
if possible.
Have a seat, and we'll have Mr. Mascuza just speak on behalf of the county.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So we've had a few of these. This one falls in the same category. Application due June the 1st. If you look on page 7, we've got a stamp on there where we received it on June the 6th. So obviously after the June 1st deadline, we denied it. Nothing we can do as the county without y'all's blessing, so that's why we're here.
Okay. Understood. Any questions, Mr. O'Keefe, Mr.
No,
Smith?
thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mascuza. Okay.
All right, we will move to hearing number 9.
Okay.
This will be for property key number 09-342406. The taxpayer is Sandra Helms. This is an appeal on a discovery bill.
So this is hearing number 9. Okay. Okay. How are you, Mrs. Helms? Let's see, we need
I'm good. How we go?
the county to locate this one. Appeal on this.
It's just a discovery, so it doesn't really, I can
Oh, okay.
it's not really about valuation.
It's not, okay, well, I saw discovery, and I'm thinking, okay. I'm thinking something besides the
You're
exclusion.
thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here because I called. I had several people say I needed to call and check on a senior discount. When I called, I was told that I already received it. Because the people that I bought my house from received that discount, but it did not get changed when I bought the house. So I've been receiving it, did not know it. I would not have called if I'd known that I was receiving the discount. So I would like to, not have to pay the back taxes that they're telling me that I might have to pay.
Right.
Good if you're saying that I have to pay the full amount from now on, but I would prefer not to have to pick up the back taxes because that would be a strain,
Okay.
so.
Questions, Mr. O'Keefe,
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Smith?
And you don't qualify for the discount currently?
Evidently, I do not.
Okay. Okay, but you've been receiving it for how long?
I bought the house in December of 2019.
Okay, I got you now. Oh. I'm a little slow sometimes, but I'm caught up now. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Helms, and then let us hear from Mr. Mascuza, and if you have some final comments, I'll circle back to you, okay? All right.
All right, so like she stated, she did call in. She spoke with Brent. Brent came to me afterwards and said that she has been receiving this. It looks like it was under another owner's application. She is right. It did sell, it sold. If you look on page 9, is the deed of where the house sold from the previous owner to her. That was December of 2018. So if you look at page 8, don't mean to go backwards, but I think it made more sense. If you look at page 8 is the actual application from the previous owner, showing that their names of where they applied for the program and they began to receive it in 2013. And then page 7 is going to be the discovery letter that we sent. So the statutes require us to go back and discover property that received an exclusion, exemption, that should not have. Statutes say that we go back 5 years. So we went back 5 years, which would be 2019 to 2024.
Okay. Questions, Mr. Smith?
Nope.
Mr. O'Keefe?
No questions,
Okay.
thanks.
Pretty straightforward. Thank you, Mr. Muscusa. Ms. Helms, any final comments? Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
All right. So hearing number 3, this is for property key number 07054915 for Elizabeth and Robert Bowman, and they are not present today.
Okay.
Hearing number 4 is for property key number 08075028 for Linda and Gregory Evans, and they are not present today. Hearing number 5 is for property key number 09336442 for Angela and Eric Franklin. This is going to be rescheduled for a later date, and they are not here today. Hearing number 7 is for property key number 07130095. This is for Rhonda Bradley. This is an appeal on an application denial due to an untimely application. They are not present, but they have asked the board to review the letter that was provided in your notebook on tab number 7.
Okay. So we would just look at that in deliberations or look
You
at it?
can.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we'll just
That'd be fine.
look at it in deliberations, okay? Okay.
Hearing number 8 for property key number 09090015A. This is for Sharice and Gregory Gunther. This is also for an appeal of an application denial due to untimely application. They have also not here today, but have requested that you review their letter that they have provided on tab 8.
My only question, is there anything that, would it be better for the county if they have comments to speak on those two?
You
But-
can ask
Yeah, if
Mr.
I can
Mazzei
ask
if he has
Ms.
anything to add when you come to that, if you want. Yes, you can.
Okay. Mr. Muscusa, is there anything unusual about either one of these that you need to speak to? If not, yeah,
They just submitted them after the deadline.
after the date, okay. Thank you.
Sure. And then that would bring us to hearing 10, which are the staff recommendations that have been settled, which will be your addendum A. Hearing 11 would be the consent agenda with no agreement, which is your addendum B. And then hearing 12 is your addendum C. And this is one where the appellant is requesting the board to also review their documentation provided, because they are not here today. And you can also do that during deliberations as well,
Okay.
as needed.
All right.
And that's the end of the agenda, and then that would bring us into the deliberation phase.
So we will go into the deliberation phase. Is everybody okay without a break? Or you need a break?
Give me a quick one.
Yeah.
All right, so
Maybe
we'll take a 5?
Take a 5-minute recess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll come back at 10:05.
Okay.
from Chick-fil-A.
With a special ice.
With a lot of ice.
Or we call back to order? I'll get them in a minute. All right, we'll call the meeting back to order.
If the county will sit down.
All right. So we'll go into the deliberation phase, and we will start back with hearing number 1. This was for property key number 09207005A. Would you like the county to relocate that again on the screen for you?
I'd like to have
during
them on the screen
deliberations?
as we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have them do that.
Yeah.
And this was for Laura and Udalbo Valara, and they were present today. Varela, my apologies.
And it looks like, to me, I mean, the disparity in some of those other homes were,
Was
they were a lot
age.
older. Some of them that the taxpayer was speaking to, maybe all of them weren't lakefront. This one's lakefront,
With lake access,
yeah.
With lake access, too, it's
Yeah.
not on the lake,
yeah.
from what I can see. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's.
They said it was theirs. They pay us a fee to have that, to get the egress or whatever.
And it's probably grandfathered in, I don't.
Well, this would be like Norman was for years. You didn't own, they had a buffer,
Yeah.
then you had to do something.
Well, and she was mainly opposing the value just based upon the percentage of increase,
Yeah, that's
but there
it.
was no other evidence there
No.
to me, to,
I didn't see any evidence.
yeah. So, with
I make a
that,
motion, we accept the county's valuation.
I have a motion from Mr. Smith,
Second.
second from Mr. O'Keefe. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The motion's carried for the current value to remain on for hearing number 1.
All right, that'll take us to hearing number 2 for property key number 06120034. This was for Kevin and Kyle Moosen, who was represented today by Greg Moosen.
It's a very weird shaped lot.
That's where you come into this.
I think I understand why the county had to look at it that way, but if it's acreage, something needs to be addressed with the shape of it. I mean, if you're looking at it as, if you're not looking at it as a building lot.
Yep. I guess that's a quick question. If it were to get built to a similar standard that the houses right next to it are,
Yeah.
would they then look at it from, they'd be valuing it similar to the way they're valuing the properties?
If they're rental
Next to it.
properties.
If they're rental properties at 13, 1237, you know, the next doors, would they be able to change, I'm sure they would be able to change the way they're being assessed. So if it's sold now as a single home site and somebody builds a $600,000 home on it, you know, it'll be assessed one way. But if they put in a multifamily, you know, if that is allowed for whatever reason, would they then reestablish how it's being valued?
I think I can let the county speak to that, but
It would be ethical with
The ones
beside it.
beside it.
The value of the land would get wrapped into the cost.
Well, yeah, you use GRM, it'd get wrapped into the total package.
Whether it's a single-family rental or a duplex
Well, if it was a duplex, now if a single family,
rental.
It'd be the same.
it would not be
Okay.
equitable with the ones
Okay,
next to it.
okay.
Well, that's the issue. What we don't know the question to is these other houses, and I guess the original house that was there and burnt down were built before the town was incorporated and were grandfathered in. I would assume, but I can't promise, that that lot probably may still carry the grandfathered multifamily. Could.
One could assume that.
And that's why I recommended that he talk to the town planner and find out what it actually is. Because if it's, not multifamily, the likelihood of Weddington approving a multifamily there is slim. I'll just say that. And you're in a different situation. The lot is very odd, and I don't know what the distance of the road frontage is. Could y'all have any estimate of that?
We can measure that. It looks as if it's wider, it has a larger footprint up front.
It does.
Than the other ones do.
It does.
Significant.
But it narrows pretty quick,
174
174.
across the front.
Because you'd have to look at building anything on it, you have to look at the front and side setbacks on what could be built there.
Correct.
And I'm going to assume they can probably build, I'm not sure they can build any more as close as those houses are, but they might be able to.
Well, if you look at the ones adjacent and just compare those to the,
80 feet across the back.
Yep. That's your buildable area, basically right there.
correct. And if you look at the other homes, the other duplexes next to it,
Yep.
I would say that this buildable area is at least comparable to those.
Yeah, and you set back at least 50 feet.
But it's being looked at as rural land.
Yeah,
It is, it is. So we got to keep that in mind. It's being looked at as rural land because the sales that we used, it's not in a platted subdivision.
Right.
And the sales we used to value it are not in platted subdivisions with subdivision amenities and stuff. So it is treated that way, so we do need,
Yeah, so
but
with
it
it
looks
being.
like
with it-
over half the property is virtually unusable.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, yeah. And that's kind of what I was getting to. Typically with rural land, if we saw this shape, wouldn't something be done for shape normally?
you can most definitely give it some shape if y'all choose to. That's
Yeah,
correct.
That's where I think we ought to go.
Yeah,
With the county and the way they're looking at it, I
Yeah.
don't think we can get into what they're gonna do later on.
no, you can't. That's up to
Just kind
them.
of stick with the way they're looking at it and put a shape adjustment on it.
Understood.
And,
I mean, you've got
and then if they do
probably,
something later on, they'll pick it up
They'll
by
pick it up, yeah.
permits, and it'll come back.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got about a half acre of buildable land, it looks like
Yeah.
to me roughly. And the rest of it is truly excess. I mean, I guess you can walk on it. Maybe plant a garden down there.
Is it easier for us just to apply a percentage and it's the whole thing, or do we apply a percentage to the affected piece that makes it oddly shaped?
I don't think you can recommend that.
Yeah.
I don't think the county can recommend that to
No,
you.
no, I'm just asking the question.
I was going to
Is
yeah,
it
y'all-
legal
y'all could do it either way.
statewide?
Either
Yeah.
way you choose.
Okay.
Any way we choose.
So we can apply it to the whole lot, or we can apply it.
Yeah,
It might be, to me, it's easier to apply it to the whole lot. Maybe lower the percentage and apply it to the whole lot.
I think that's.
Yeah. Then getting into trying to, we don't have a survey or, any,
yeah.
and you're estimating.
We're estimating.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing out a number, 35%.
I was thinking 40, but
Okay. I'm good with,
Forty's good.
yeah. Yeah. So,
make a motion, we give 40% relief on the value for shape.
so apply a 40% influence for shape
Yeah.
is the motion.
Second.
Second for Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion is carried to apply the 40% influence for shape.
Okay. That moves us to hearing number 3 for property key number 07054915 for Robert and Elizabeth Bowman, who were not present today.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion to accept the county's valuation, being they didn't appear.
Okay, so I have a motion from Mr. Smith for the motion to remain, a second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried for the current value to remain on for hearing 3.
Hearing number 4, property key number 08075028 for Linda and Gregory Evans. They were not present today.
Again, make a motion to accept the county's valuation as the appellant didn't appear.
Have a motion from Mr. Smith.
Second.
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried for the current value to remain of $387,900 for hearing 4.
Hearing number 5 for property key number 09336442 for Angela and Eric Franklin. That one has been rescheduled, so we do not need to take action on that one today.
Hell, we gave them a good cut, too. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Hearing number 6 for property key number 031440118A for Carla Richmond. This was the appeal of the application denial due to an untimely application, and the taxpayer was here today.
I make a motion, we accept the appeal.
I have a motion from
Late.
Mr. Smith that we accept the late filing application.
Second.
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
Hearing number 7 for property key number 07130095 for taxpayer Rhonda Bradley. This was also an appeal of a late application denial. She was not present, but that is your tab number 7. They have submitted a letter and would like for you to review that.
Board, take a minute, read her letter.
I have a question just for the county to clarify. What is the parameters of this program exactly, so I'm 100% clear? Hell, I might be qualifying one day.
Parameters for the program, there's an income limit. So
Yeah.
for this year, you use 2024 income, the income limit was $37,900.
I missed it by $1 or
Yeah,
two.
there you go.
Then you have to be 65 years of age or older.
Yeah.
And live on the property.
Yeah. Very good, thank you.
I've read her letter and make a motion, we accept the late filing.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried to accept the late application filing for hearing, that is 6, right?
It was
Yeah.
9, wasn't
No,
it?
7.
7. Hell, these things go by.
That'll take us to hearing number 8 for property key number 09090015A for Sharice and Gregory Gunther. This was also for an untimely application, and the taxpayers were not present today. It is tab number 8, and they also submitted a letter that they would like for you to review.
So this property's in the forestry program.
They're applying for it.
Okay. So,
They're applying for it.
so, okay. So all we're doing is just accepting the late application, then it would be reviewed to see if it complies.
That's correct.
Okay. I don't have
Make a motion that we accept.
So I have a
Second.
motion from Mr. O'Keefe to accept the late filing application and a second from Mr. Smith. Any
Yep.
discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried to accept the late filing on application on hearing 8.
Hearing number 9, property key number 09342406 This was for Sandra Helms on the appeal of the discovery bill that she received, and she was present today.
I think that she truly was genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to check, and I didn't, is there a precedent here? This has come up before, but I just can't remember.
I can't remember how y'all put
Okay,
in the past as well.
right,
I think we've seen it three ways.
okay,
We've seen it split in the middle,
Yeah.
we've seen it to uphold, and we've seen it to get rid of the whole discovery. We've seen it multiple ways.
I think no more difference than this is. I'd do the whole thing.
I'm fine with that. I mean, it's honest.
Yeah,
I think
well, she came,
She can't.
yeah. And,
we recommend
But going forward, it's,
yeah,
yeah.
all right,
I don't recommend that we accept the appeal, waive back taxes.
okay, so I have
I'll second it.
have a motion from Mr. O'Keefe to waive the, back,
To release the discovery.
yeah, to release the discovery, thank you.
That's
Okay,
cool.
there we go, I was looking for it. And I have a second from Mr. Smith, any discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign, so motion is carried to release the discovery on hearing 9.
All right, hearing number 10, that is going to be your addendum A. That's the staff recommendations that have been settled with the taxpayers on a value.
Is this the one you had the question on or a different one? The next one. I make a recommendation, we accept the staff recommendation settled.
So I have a motion to accept the staff recommendations as presented for hearing 10, and a second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, so motion is carried to accept staff recommendations as presented for hearing 10.
All right, hearing number 11, that's going to be your addendum B. This is going to be where the county has recommended a value
Right.
and has not heard back from the taxpayers
tax-
appealing that value today, as of today.
And I just got that one quick question.
Which one is it?
It's 0609617K. It's about two-thirds of the way down. And it's Mr. Parker's.
2/3 of the way down.
Parker.
It's Weggett, Samuel, Irwin.
Oh, Irwin, there it is.
Oh, it's A. I thought you said K. Okay. A.
Sorry.
Okay. So the original
It was
balance.
12, 10, and then it went to 16.
96.
Okay, Mr. Parker,
Sir.
can you come forward and maybe speak to the one ending in 017A, Samuel Irwin, is it Weckert? Weckert?
Oh, yes, sir, I can. This particular property, we were missing square footage on.
Right.
And it was undergraded. So I
Okay.
partnered with Mr. Madge, whose area this is, Alan.
Okay,
And we looked at it and came to the conclusion that it was, to be consistent within the neighborhood, we regraded it and we added the appropriate square footage to make sure that it was accurate. And by doing that, we ended up going up in
Up.
value versus down in value.
okay. So he appealed, y'all reviewed it, and the value ended up going up. Okay, so, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Recommend that we accept the valuation change without agreement.
Yep. So I have a motion from Mr. O'Keefe to accept
Second.
the consent agenda as presented,
Second.
and a second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried to accept as presented the consent agenda, which is hearing 11.
Some of them I've enjoyed it.
Is that it?
And we got 12.
All right, hearing number 12 is your addendum C. This is kind of like what we've had before. This is
I don't have
the agent tax proper.
Is that
Is-
this?
It should be,
Yeah, you
yes.
must have it.
Well, yes, there's a legal size spreadsheet provided for you guys, I believe,
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
in your notebook too, yes.
So tax proper is a.
This is where they've hired one agent to appeal the values on multiple properties like we've had in the past. So this is just where a representative and the agent tax proper is appealing the values on behalf of all of these properties.
So, I don't know if we want to just maybe look at it together here. There, notice value, appellant value.
There's the.
Yeah, so we're really looking kind of, I reckon, here through there.
There's the difference.
They're all 10%. Roughly. They ask for 10% on everything.
I don't know, it look like yours. I reckon I'm looking at notice value.
Yeah, and then,
Recommended value, that's the same.
yeah, and this is the change. and
If
it-
they wanted to
In most,
decrease.
in most of them,
That's what they
it
wanted to,
entered to be roughly 10%.
it's what they recommend.
That's what they,
blanket.
yeah,
In the real estate appeals appellant tax proper. So this is the recommendation.
From the
Yep.
county,
from the county.
yeah. This is what,
And they were all no
that's what
changes.
they were
Yeah.
looking for that much of a reduction.
Yep, and it's all no change.
Yeah.
Did they provide any evidence as to why or anything like that, right?
Well,
okay.
They presented all that information.
Yeah,
You know, I need to understand why.
Yes. That's,
Huh?
that happened last meeting,
Yeah, it did. We had a huge one.
but, you know,
Yeah.
and I'll look at, to me, look at this. So I think we've had a chance to review the data under hearing 12 for tax proper. So with that, what's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we accept the county's value
So,
on addendum, what is this called?
C,
B, C?
C.
Yep, C.
So I have a motion from Mr. Smith to accept the data that we have identified as addendum C under hearing 12, which
County
is
valuation.
accepting the county's valuation of all these properties.
Second.
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried. Is that
And that
complete?
takes us to the end of the agenda today.
Okay. So do I have?
Next meeting is-
Any comments from the county? Next Wednesday, which is the 27th, okay. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion, second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we are adjourned. Maybe I won't get a parking ticket today. I got one last week.